Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to another episode of DevChatter. My name is Brendan, and as you probably guessed from my intro, this is DevChatter. So I hope you are all having a good day. I know I already am, because I get to start off the stream by saying welcome and thanks for following to Al Ashcraft, and I guarantee I can't guess what Al is short for. Because I have no idea who that is. I'm kidding, I know who that is. So welcome everyone. Hopefully you are all having a fantastic day. I do want to note that our chatbot is in chat and welcoming everyone. Today is a very warm and sunny Tuesday afternoon here in month of May. It is May 29th, and we are going to write some code today. I want to talk about a couple of things at the beginning, as I usually do. Give a little bit of information to all of you about what is going on this week. So I am very briefly going to go over this. Today is Tuesday. We don't have any specific stuff planned for today, but we are going to be writing some code on our chatbot again. However, on Thursday, that's 2 days from now, we are going to be doing some pair programming with Jimmy Bird, who is going to join us on the stream. We're probably going to stick him up in the corner up there, up in the top right, and he will write code with us. And then on Saturday, we are going to have Dave Glick on the show with us, and he is going to be talking to us about statically generating, or I should say, automatically generating a static site. So essentially a tool written in CSharp that will generate static sites for us based on some content and templates and things that we provide. So it's a really cool way of building sites that are really high performance and really nice. So they're great for brochure sites, blogs, and a lot of other things. It's a really cool concept that I think we want to talk about here. So I hope you're all looking forward to that. Mark your calendars for Thursday and Saturday's stream this week. Hello to all the people that have said hi in chat already. Hopefully everybody is having a good start of the stream. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got coming in our other projects. So the first thing, I want to mention to everybody that all of our code that we do here on DevChatter is out on GitHub, so you can go to github.com/devchatter. I posted the link in the chat. There are probably some links down below as well if you're looking for one. All the code we do is pushed out here so that everyone who's in here can get access to it. So the link is going to drop you here, and you can look around at our stuff. The main two projects we're currently working on are a competition that you all can enter, and anyone really can enter. One of them is the Rock, Paper, Scissors Boom that we're building. And this is going to be a competition where you're going to create a rock, paper, scissors bot. Now this is based on something that Microsoft did a bunch of years ago, and I thought it would be cool to resurrect the project, build it ourselves on stream, and let all the viewers compete in it. So we are building our own platform for having bots play an interesting game of rock, paper, scissors. I'm not going to go through the rules right now because I do want to jump into the stream and get us going here. But I have a couple of pull requests that we put in at the last stream that I am hoping that I can get some of our regulars to review, and then once we got someone that's at least said, hey, yeah, that looks all right. Hey, developers, welcome. Hopefully you all had a fantastic time watching C# Fritz's stream this morning. And I want to welcome anyone who was still lurking around in the channel. I apologize for just suddenly talking on you, but welcome. Hopefully you will enjoy some more C# coding, because that's what we have planned for today. We're going to do some more .NET Core, ASP.NET type stuff, and it should be fun. Greendorf, welcome. Hype. Sam Who Swam, welcome. Hype. Welcome. Hopefully you all are ready for some code. Okay, so that is what the state is on this project. I'm not going to go over those pull requests right now because they are ours. And then the DevChatter bot has 2 pull requests that are only in there because they're going to be long-term ones, and that's so that I can keep track of the work that's being done on a fork. So just to make it easier for the primary developer, we have that code over there in a fork, and that's why they're like that. I'm going to take a quick look at our issues section, just make sure nothing new has popped up. Nope, most recent one's 8 days ago, so we don't have anything new to talk about on that. Okay, so at that point, I think it's about time that we took a look at the code. So I am going to go ahead and open up our GitHub desktop, which is what we use here on DevChatter, because it works pretty well for letting all of you see what I'm doing in GitHub, and it's a little bit nicer than if I were to use the command line the whole time. So it's a little bit easier, especially for anyone who's not used to Git command line. Okay, so let's go ahead and open this up. We're going to work inside of, I believe our ASP.NET conversion branch is still the one we want to use. Honeypop, hello, welcome. Just to confirm, I'm going to take a look. We have a handful of branches. One of them's the mud, which is a really interesting one. That's a new branch that we started that a couple of us are going to collaborate on a little bit. Okay. That should be fine. So we will continue on with this branch. Should be synchronized. And I want to take a look at what is the current state of this. So, to explain our bot project to anybody that doesn't know, you'll notice in the chat over there, there is DevChatter bot, and let me see, do I have a hello command? Yes, I do. Okay, so you'll see the bot responds with hello world when I send that command. Our bot has a lot of simple commands in there, but also some more complicated ones. So one of the more complicated commands that I'll go ahead and show is the hangman command. Now I'm showing this one because it's a fun one that's interactive and the chat can actually use it. So you'll notice that once you start a game of hangman, anyone can chime in by just, saying the hangman command again and providing a letter. And so that's how that one works. Spits out what the current state of things is, and we do a lot of games in our bot. Because we think those are kind of fun, and they're interactive and nice when you're one of the people chatting, to be able to, interact with what we're doing on stream. So that's why we've got a bunch of those. Let's see. Okay, so I want to go ahead and pull up our web page again. Let's see where it is. So in order to do that, I'm going to right-click on the project, go up to View, and view it in Browser. Oh, you got one there, Sam who swam. Okay, now this is my favorite thing on our website right now. So this is the bot's back-end configuration that we're starting to flesh out a little bit. And I love this animation that James Chambers went and grabbed somewhere on the internet. So this is just like hot linked on image, but it is hilarious. Oh, Sam who swam. You're having trouble with that word there. I am not sure what that word is. Oh, wait, I have a letter that I think will help. There you go. That ought to do it. Hey, there you go. Yeah, not many words. If you get the word was pepperoni, by the way, for anyone that didn't watch that in the chat over there. Once you put in the letter P, it becomes a little obvious. I happen to know the whole word list, since I think I put all the words in there. Technically, our moderators can add additional words, but I don't remember seeing any of them add them. So everything we do so far for configuring this bot is actually all done through the chat, which is actually one of my favorite parts about it. So for example, if I want to add a hangman word, I could go ahead and do that pretty easily by just doing that command, the hm add, and so I just added rock, paper, and scissors to the hangman game, so now those are available words in the hangman game. and it's as easy as that to add them, so that's one of my favorite things about that. Yeah, sadly, there is cooldown on it. I can override that for you all. Arrays start at 1. I love the name, by the way. Welcome, thanks for following. Oh, right, we say that we're not starting the game, but we do. I forgot about that. We do need to go back and fix that one still. We discovered that we recently switched all of our cooldowns, and we had them working one way, and we added in a new type of cooldown. So right now both cooldown logics respond, and since they both respond, neither one is actually enacting the cooldown anymore. So they actually were in separate branches. We brought them together, and we're like, oh yeah, well, there's no such thing as a cooldown anymore. So we'll call that a win for all of you. I wonder what's in the word. So anyway, schedule management's in here. Oh, that's nice. That's I mean, not that it was a great interface or anything, but I forgot exactly where we left that one. Manage the games, manage the Hangman game, manage the Hangman words. Oh yeah, see? You can see rock, paper, and scissors are here on the bottom of the list now. So this is our word list. We can also now edit it in this web page, so that's one of the nice parts, is we're starting to get the ability to actually manage the bot from this point. Okay, I kind of feel like my goal for today should be to get it so that this web page is ready to actually get merged in, and we can make this part of the master branch, so that the ASP.NET conversion, adding this in, is not on a separate branch anymore. So everything's working with it, even if it's not complete. I want to get this to the point where it feels like this is actually a part of what we're supposed to be doing. Oh, we failed. What was it? GenFuu. Oh, you were never going to get that. That's one of the most evil ones in there. Oh man, yeah, that is the name of an open source project. Sam who swam. That's an evil one. There are a couple. So if they're not food related, they're in some way related to technology. So there's food and technology are the main topics. So that's why you have things like, now the exception on that one is I just added rock, paper, scissors, but that's kind of related to it because we have a rock, paper, scissors game. So it makes sense. And Wheelspin over here is trying to get rock, paper, or scissors. No, that wasn't it. Good try, guys. Good try. Till, welcome. Hi. Okay, so here's what I want to do with this project. I'm going to jump in here. For anyone who doesn't recognize this structure, this is actually called Razer Pages. It is the new structure that is in the ASP.NET Core projects. So Razer Pages uses a page model on the back end instead of using controllers like in the model view controller approach. It still has the same separation between the view and the interaction layer, except that instead of having a controller where you've got a broad topic of related things, you use a page model which is almost more closely related to your view. So it's kind of like having a controller action, you know, I should say a controller for each view is kind of the idea. Oh, Till, the Rock, Paper, Scissors Boom project is actually still going. I just don't want to do, like, 3 or 4 streams on the same project, so that's why we are working on... Oh, man, that is... Nope, that's an evil one. Yeah, see, you guys just randomly pulled 2 evil Hangman games in a row. You were never going to get that one. So, to answer your question, Till, we are going to be working on the Rock, Paper, Scissors Boom project again, and we will continue that one, because we do want to get that one to the point where all of you can add in your bot. We have started adding our example template in there, and we need to wire that up on our end so that it can communicate with it. Right now, we're just using a web client to talk to it, but we are going to want to make a persistent connection so that the game can go quickly and we can have that quick interaction. So we're probably going to use a SignalR hub in order to make that communication, just consistent and fast. So that's probably the approach we're going to take. Okay, so we're going to call this DevChatter bot backend. DevChatter bot admin. Admin's a good word for the administration section. So DevChatter bot admin, there we go. So that is now the name of that. What else is on this page that should get adjusted? We have the copyright adjusted to that for whatever that matters. And actually, that should probably link back to, I'll say, our GitHub for now, so that people can I think that's probably the best location for it. So we'll link that back. Now I'm going to show you all how we do links now. It's quite nice. Well, I guess if we wanted to link to a page, which we're not actually going to. So what I'm going to do is, we've got this here, copyright that, and then we're going to say DevChatter. Now on this, I want to say ASP dash. So normally, this is what we would do when we're making a link inside of Razer Pages. So what you do is you can do ASP page, and this you can link to any one of your pages. You can do an action if you want to go to a specific controller action. You can send to a controller. You can do all these various things. You can specify where you want it to go. So it's kind of nice. In our case, we're actually just going to do a regular one. Now I wanted to mention that because I know a lot of people here are not used to working with the new ASP.NET Razer Pages, so that's why I want to talk about that a little bit. Did I spell watermelon wrong? Or was that a typo on your end? Okay, yeah, see, I spelled watermelon wrong. Honey Pop, no, we're not working on the rock, paper, scissors bot just now, but we'll probably do that next stream. Watermelon, yeah, you're right. I should totally fix that. Hang on a second, check this out. You got me, Sam. We will edit this one. You're right, that's a single L word. We're gonna save that. There we go, fixed. Watermelon has been fixed. Congratulations. It's fixed. I'm 90% I found that last time I was here. Yes, yeah, but now I've actually fixed it this time. I didn't fix it last time. Sorry for the repeat, but I'm wondering a bit about this. How do you smoothly develop an ASP.NET core stuff in Visual Studio? Do you auto-deploy on build or anything like that? How do you rapidly access an updated version of the project in a browser? Oh, so there's a couple of ways to do that, Flowmotion. So first off, anything that doesn't actually require anything that what I was going to say is anything that does not require a compilation of the project, as long as the site is running, ASP.NET actually keeps a back-end process going that is actually watching your files and will automatically, well, Wheelspin, it didn't cost you anything either, and ASP.NET will keep track of these things and will make sure that it actually does its compilation. So there's actually a CSharp class inside of ASP.NET called the CSharp compiler, and it actually takes that text in your Razer pages, so in these pages, and automatically does that. So for example, if I make a change in here, so this says copy 2018 DevChatter, right? If I were to, I don't know, change this to 2017 to 2018 or something like that, right? I can make that change. I've saved. I haven't compiled. I'm not going to compile. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up this page again. So I still have not done any compilation or anything. And now when I refresh this, if I go down to the bottom, you'll see that that updates. So that happens regardless. Now I did a content change. So everybody here is saying, whoa, hey, there wasn't really a content change. However, I can actually change things that use Razer, so actually use CSharp Code. So if I wanted to do this, so right now we have access to some objects down here. So I can take this view data title, and I'm going to look at who followed here in a second and welcome them, but for now I can go h1 and whoops, I can say at this, and I've saved. I haven't compiled. All I've done is saved. And I go back over here and I refresh this page. You'll see that it shoved the word homepage up there, and that's came from this. So it's automatically going and doing a recompile, and again, no compilation on my end, just doing this. Thanks, Wheelspin. Yeah, Wheelspin trying to break the bot here. Who was actually in that heist? I didn't see heist. Was Wheelspin the only person in the heist? Wheelspin is organizing a heist. Wow, yeah, Wheelspin actually won a heist all on his own. So here you go, Wheelspin. Wheelspin. What it said, yeah, here you go. Congratulations, Wheelspin, you won a heist. So you just host a site in the IIS that points to your solution root folder. So Flowmotion, here's what you can do. So if you're running it in Visual Studio, you can just do a debug, start without debugging, and that will go ahead and run the site, and it'll just be going kind of like mine is. But that only works if this is your startup project, if your website is your startup project. In my case, it's actually my console application, so this is a little different. So what I do to start it is I right-click on the web project, and I go up here to View, and I say View in Browser. Now, when I do this, what it actually does is it starts up IIS Express, and I actually get an IIS Express instance going. So if I pull this on screen, this was down in my system tray, and this is actually... you'll see IIS Express is running these applications, so it has my DevChatter bot running on both, SSL and non-SSL connections here. So that is actually how it's set up to run, and that involves basically I don't have to do any configuration because IIS Express is getting installed automatically with Visual Studio, and it will run through that. So it's actually a really nice experience to get that going. If you are not running it in Visual Studio and you're running it in VS Code, you can also do it that way. So VS Code, ASP.NET, let's see, .NET Core, ASP.NET, watch. Okay. So I'm going to bring up the documentation because I want you to see where I'm getting this and how you can look it up on your own. So what I searched for was, specifically we want to use .NET Watch. So what you can do, let me go ahead and pull up a PowerShell, just so I can show you this. And then sorry, I got to get into the right folder. Because this is actually a really cool thing. I think it's very useful for people to know. Now let me hop into the right project here. We need DevChatter bot web. Okay. So I am in the web project now. once I get, so the Razer Pages is analogous to ASPX with a CS code behind. ShiftKit, kind of. That's structurally how it works. So there is a backend page for each view. But I do want to be very, very clear that this does not work like web forms. And by that I mean, instead of having like objects on the page that you access from the code behind, and the code behind, instead of doing that tight connection like we had in web forms, this is more loosely coupled than that was. But it still gets us access to the data. So there's still a one-to-one between a code behind and a front end. And we actually call that code behind a page model in this case. And the page model does a lot of nice things for us, and it has a handful of events that happen. And those are things like on post, on get. So they're very simple ones. And they deal with like how web requests happen. They're not specific things like what we had with the page lifecycle of web forms. So if that's what you're used to, don't think of it that way, because it doesn't really work that way. This is basically, it's much more like having a controller for that page. It works really nicely, actually. So you'll see they end up being nice and clean, and they give us easy dependency injection right into the page model. You use the MVC repository pattern now. Okay, so you use MVC and repository. So this will feel like that, but with your backend being right there with your view, so it's nice to work with. No, this isn't like web forms. So if you liked anything about that, so let's put it this way. If you like MVC and how that separates out your structure, you are probably also going to like Razer Pages. So if you like MVC, you will probably like this, because this also keeps things separated and nice and easy to work with. In some ways, I actually think this ends up being cleaner, because there's less in this than there was in a controller. So that's one of the nice parts here. So what I wanted to mention is, and I'm going to get to those questions that you've got in chat there in a second. So I first want to say .NET Build here, just to show you that I can build the web page from the back end here. So this does the build of the .NET Core web application. But I should be able to do a .NET Watch, .NET Watch run. Okay, so this should get, okay, so here's what I want to show you here. So I have been running this site. You've seen me running it. I'm running it in IIS Express, and it's running right here. Notice the port number. That's the one that IIS Express gave me. So I just ran a command here, and you'll notice that now this console window is holding port 5001. So I am going to change this to 5001 here. Now, it's not really, it's a self-signed certificate, so that's why it's freaking out on me. If I had a real certificate, it wouldn't have this complaint, and there we go. And now when I do this, notice that it has all this information for all the requests that just happened. So when I click around, if we hold this window, let's put this on this side. So just watch this one, and don't mind that my styles got all messed up. But you'll see that you can actually see all the commands going through, and you can see all the traffic that goes into that web project while we do this. Additionally, because I have this watch going, if I were to hop over here and start making some changes. So we were messing with the footer before, so I'm going to scroll down there so we can see that footer. I should be able to do this, and now when I refresh over here, this should automatically get the change. So, and that's just a quick example of that working. So I can run it through IIS Express, I can run it through my command line, either one works just fine. I'm going to go ahead and kill this process now. So there it goes, because I don't need that running in the command line, but I did want to show you that because someone asked. So hopefully that answers your question, and I will link this in chat, so this is the relevant article about using that. So if you are interested, that's how you do that. Let me take a look at what else is in here. Wheelspin is lurking. Juicy Lemons. Do you have any resources you can suggest for learning C#? I guess it depends on where you are in your understanding of C#, Juicy Lemons. If you are an absolute beginner, I would highly recommend you check out things like try.net. So try.net is a good way to get started doing this. If you want to learn all the ins and outs and the details, I would recommend that you take a look at C# in depth. So that is a book that is written by John Skeet that will tell you all about it. If you are someone that learns from books, that's a way to do it. If you're someone that learns from... okay, so you're pretty new to it. You've messed around with JavaScript. Okay, I would recommend, if you haven't installed all the tools yet and you want to start learning C#, you check out try.net, and you can actually literally just try.net and run it, so you can do things in it. Additionally, what I'd recommend is try to do some simple programming in it. So go and find some katas and exercises and things like that. So, actually that would have worked right here. So try and do some easy programs in it. So you could, for example, do some katas or programming exercises or things like that using C#. That is always, always, always write code. That is the best way to learn a new language. Okay, so while I was doing that stuff, Barry or something like that, gonna guess, welcome, thanks for following. Ans Ashkan, thanks for following, and S Sushi, thanks for following. Welcome to DevChatter, everyone, and if I messed up your name, just tell me. First, laugh at me because I messed up your name, and then second, tell me how to say it better, and I will say it better next time. Okay, so nice stream, greetings from Germany. Oh, welcome. Welcome to the United States. I tried C# and .NET Core so in the past, but now I'm using Golang, and it feels... No language is for everyone. There's all kinds of great languages out there. I'm a big fan of C# and .NET Core, and I know a lot of people that like other languages, and I've used plenty that I like. I used to be a Python developer. If that surprises anyone, I've used VB before. Done a lot of C++. I've done C#. I've done Java. I've done Objective-C. By the way, I will tell you, so I love this joke about Objective-C. I am going to tell you that I thought this statement was hilarious until I actually tried Objective-C a bunch of years ago. I know people don't use it as much anymore because Swift gets used, but Objective-C looked really, really ugly. I did not like the look of that language at first. And I can tell you that the joke that I'd always heard about it is that once the Stockholm Syndrome sets in, you really start to like the language. And it is hilarious. I used it for a little while and I was like, this is terrible, this is awful, and then eventually I was just like, you know what, actually never mind, it's actually really cool. I will tell you, if there's a language you like, use it. There's no right or wrong answer there. There's a reason programming languages exist. Anyone that's popular and you've heard of probably exists because it's good at doing something. Okay, C# is awesome. Glad you like it, Sushi. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at this code then. So we're going to make this work. So, what do we still need to do in order to make... first off, I'm actually going to get rid of our under construction thing, as cool as it is. And I want to thank James for putting it there. But I think it's time for this to just disappear. So, goodbye, image. So, image is gone. There we go. Who else is in here? Oh, Swifty Spiffy! Hey, welcome! Ahoy! With Swifty Spiffy here, I'm almost tempted to work on something else. I was tempted to go do TwitchLib stuff. Swifty Spiffy in the house. Okay, alright, cleaning up the content on the pages. So we are prepping this to get ready to merge it back in. So we're going to do a pull request to this. Okay, well that could be Swifty. I wasn't planning on updating to a new version, but I do want to connect to Twitch rooms in our bot. So I don't know how to do that yet. Oh, Juicy Lemons, welcome. Thank you for following. I'll take that to mean that you absolutely are enjoying the stream. If anyone else is enjoying the stream, I'd recommend you click the follow button too. Clicking that will actually get you notified when we go live, which is very useful. Hey, we got 2 lemon people in here. Welcome, Lemons Galore. Lemons are pretty darn good. Okay, so we got that going. I'm actually gonna show that as... How long are these names? I just want to look at what we've got up here. Current chat, command configuration. Yeah, I like 2 words. 2 words is easier. Sorry, James. Manage commands, manage that, home, manage commands, manage that. Okay. I like the structure. We're gonna need to restyle these, but I am glad that that's working. Ah, the lemon people. Good friends there. More content cleanup. But I think we're about ready to bring this back in, because I think this is useful just as a management site right now. Let's take a look at our other pages. So the other pages that we've got in here are the commands index, which does manage commands, and that's what it's called. We have the games page, which is called index. That's not what it's going to be called. We want to call it manage games. So manage games. Then I'm going to switch over here. We're going to say update manage games title. Put that in there. And I think that's probably ready. Karma Lightwing. Yes. The lemon-scented chat room over here. It's very nice today. Alright, so that ought to be good. Let's go ahead and get a pull request in while we're thinking about it. So I want to do adding ASP.NET configuration site. So now here's the challenge. When I do this, this is now going to lock us in to being a .NET Core 2.1 project instead of a .NET Core 2.0 project, because we did update this. We're actually still running on the RC. I believe it is this Friday that we're supposed to get the RTM of .NET Core 2.1. So when that happens, we are going to be focusing on .NET Core 2.1. As part of that, once we switch to .NET Core 2.1, we are going to be able to do a couple of interesting things. SignalR Core is coming in that, and that is actually what is going to let us start working on our fun stuff. So this includes a couple of things. SignalR is, for anyone that doesn't know, SignalR is a way of having persistent communication between a, essentially we'll say a website and a client. So in this case, you know, it might be my browser and the web server I'm talking to get data. The way we're going to use it here is that our website can have a page that automatically does things that we can show on this screen. So in my streaming software, and actually in anybody's streaming software for that matter, but all the common streaming software has a way of overlaying a web page on top of your stream. So when you all follow, you notice that there's like a follow alert that pops up there on the screen. And when that happens, essentially what goes on is there's a web page that is refreshing and shows that alert that comes up. We are going to do that same kind of thing. Jerzanok, welcome, thanks for following. And what we're going to do is we're going to be able to do that for our games and things like that. So we want to put our Hangman game up there, and various other things. So we want to put hype emotes and other fun stuff up there. So that is the plan with that. The other reason why we are waiting for SignalR Core in our other project, we are doing a competition application. So essentially, we're setting it up so that anyone who wants to can compete in a game of rock, paper, scissors, boom, and by submitting their bot, their, we'll call AI, your bot, whatever you want to call it, your program that plays the game. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to make a website, and we're going to have our site connect to your site and get your moves. And it's just going to ask you for each one of your moves. And so by doing a persistent connection like that, we can get things to work nicely. So if you are a .NET Core site, we're going to be able to do that with SignalR. So that is the goal, is to try and make that work really nicely. So we'll see how it works. Okay. So we now have this as a pull request in here. While we, as soon as we sent that up, it added a new task to AppVeyor to go ahead and build this pull request. So we are it's gonna build a branch, it's gonna build a pull request, and then sushi. No, so it is technically available. It's in a preview state and usable in the 2.1 RC. So that's actually what we're running on right now, Sushi. But this Friday is when the RTM of all of this stuff is actually supposed to drop. So when the RTM actually drops, that's when we have the real version, and I think that's probably when we're going to start using it. So yes, so available-ish right now, available-ish. Okay, so that's in there. We're going to get that merged in, but for now, we want to do a couple of other things. Do I have any labels on stream? Nope. Okay, so nothing is marked as we are the ones absolutely doing it. Command list, order by usage data, add a mining game for tokens, alias to command with parameters. I was looking, I was like, what? Who said something? Oh, that was just my bot. Okay. Sorry about that, I bumped the desk. The camera was shaking. You're like, what's going on? There's an earthquake. Alright, let's go ahead and switch back to the master branch. We're going to jump over into here. And yeah, you'll probably notice the master branch hasn't been updated in a bit, and that's because we were working on the other project and working in a couple of feature branches. One of which is this ASP.NET conversion that we're going to merge in. And there's one other branch that I've been working on recently that I want to take care of. And that's actually this mud one that I want to mess with. So we're going to have to do that soon. Build. So we're going to reload this and then wait for the site to be ready to merge in. Actually, since the branch passed, the PR one should pass too. I'm tempted to click the button. What could possibly go wrong?
Here we go!
Thanks, Propagated. Yeah, no, it's red. No. Why is it red? Oh, PR was closed. Oh, okay. It wasn't really red. That's a lie. That's a lie. You just can't do the PR build because of that. Yes, I died.
Okie dokie.
Okay, so now we've got that in there, we can actually work on this. So I am going to go ahead and pull latest. Sorry, I didn't want to wait that because it was taking a lot longer. I'm assuming AppVeyor must be overloaded right now. We're on a free AppVeyor account, which is why it takes a while for it to do things. So AppVeyor obviously prioritizes us about as low as anybody, as low as they'll possibly set us, and that's why. Now our regulars are wondering, whoa, did he just drink a drink and he didn't click the button for drinking his drink? And that is correct. I did not press the button for drinking my drink. Okay. So here is what I want to do. We are going to, now that we've done this, we're going to reload this. We're going to hop back over to our project. I want to jump over here, and the reason I want to get over here is that I want to work on our mud project a little bit, because it's kind of interesting. I want to take a look at this. This came through as a pull request from someone. We talked about it a little bit in chat, and he sent us a pull request, and I started working on the code because he sent it to us. And Propagated, I apologize about this being a Coke instead of a Pepsi. But don't worry, I will finish this and switch over to Pepsi in a minute. I know you're probably very upset. You died. Dark Souls of programming right there. Yes. Alright, so let's go ahead and switch over here. Why doesn't it have the... I thought it was going to give me the button to do the thing that I wanted to do. Alright, we won't worry about it. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to jump over to the mud. Now we are going to go ahead and open up the command prompt on this. We're going to go ahead and say git merge master, because we want to pull this in. Merge conflict, not surprising at all. Yeah, see? Swifty spiffy. Bruno in there with the ginger ale. There you go. But what brand of ginger ale, Bruno? You gotta... Oh, man, that could be any brand of ginger ale. Alright. Yes. For anyone who doesn't know, we like to have arguments about whether tabs or spaces are better, whether we should be in VI or Emacs, if you're using spaces instead of tabs, how many spaces you should have. We can argue about programming languages, we can argue about operating systems, but the one thing we don't argue about is beverages. Now, actually, I like Coke, I like ginger ale, Dr. Pepper, Pepsi. They're all great. Canada Dry or Riot. Thanks, ShiftKit. Yeah, no, there are a lot of good ginger ales out there. A lot of good ones. Alright, let's go ahead and find... sorry, my search was off screen. Where was our... I should have done this one. There we go. Oh, jQuery, son of a... jQuery had a merge conflict? Or no? Non-alcoholic beer. That's weird, Karma Lightwing. Conflict in the solution file. Okay. That I can mess with. Here's how we're going to mess with that. I am going to open up VS Code. Let's see. Close folder. Now I need to open a folder. DevChatter onstream, DevChatter bot, source, select folder. Alright, Congratulations. Oh, you're from Bavaria. Ah, yes, Sushi. Yes. I will join you in Munich. We will have a beer. Yes. It will be wonderful. Oh, you live in Munich? I used to work for a company that had an office in Munich, so I would occasionally stop in Munich while I had to travel through Europe. And I've actually been to Munich for work and just on vacation. It's quite nice. Not now. I'm not really. So I opened our project up in Visual Studio Code. I'm not actually planning on working on it in here. However, I do want to mess with our solution file in here this way. So this is actually what it shows. So you'll notice it can tell that there's a merge conflict, and it pops up this accept current change, accept incoming change, and I actually want to accept both changes. I think. What's the end of the line? I think I need an extra one of these. Right? Project that equals that, and then there needs to be an end project on it. I think so. I think that's what I was missing. We're going to go ahead and take a look inside Visual Studio by reloading the project over there. And let's hope that, cross our fingers that this works right. It looks like it did. So that's nice. Okay, so let me definitely go to Germany one day. It is worth going to Munich. Oh, Köln, yeah. Oh, you can drink some Kolsch there. So basically, we can have the tour of German beers because we have a bunch of Germans in our chat. Nuffly, hello, welcome. VS Code. Yeah, so that's funny, propagated. Yeah, it can work for that too. I wouldn't exactly call VS Code a diff tool, but it can handle the merge conflict pretty nicely. Right now I just want to make sure that it works at all. Oh, hang on, our bot is running, and I do know that it is going to need to do this. So I just want to confirm everything builds before I commit this merge conflict fix, because I always like to do that. All right, looks like it runs fine. So we're going to call that good. So can I? Oh, there was another merge conflict. That is silly. I love how forgiving Visual Studio is being right here. Okay, this is the two new projects, so we want to accept both changes. We're going to do this. We're going to reload over here again. So we need to see both the MUD and the web project, which MUD and web are right here. So those are the two ones that were added into the solution. Makes me wonder if our Git attributes file isn't right, because it shouldn't be causing us much trouble with this. Nuffly, we're not working on the competition right now. We're on our chat bot right now, but we will be going back to the rock paper scissors competition. That project's not disappearing. I don't think we're going to do it on Thursday, so Thursday is going to be probably this project, working with Jimmy Bird. So we're going to actually have a pair programmer up in the top right corner up there. And then Saturday we're going to have another guest on the stream to talk to us about basically automatically generating static sites. So that is going to be really, really fun. Okay, git add... what is that? Source src / DevChatter dot son right there. So there we go. So it is no longer marked as conflict, and then I am going to merge that in. Okay. now that that's in there, let's go ahead and get this bot running again so that you can all talk with him in chat. Karma Lightwing! Something got nuked. What was that? Yeah. Discord links definitely get blocked. Sorry about that. Let me see what you linked. That was some kind of image to something. I don't know that beer. This beer, apparently. I don't know it. Never heard of it. For beer, it's enough to go to Munich. Yes, Munich has a lot of beer. Yeah, no problem, Karma Lightwing. We obviously just block links by default just in case. It's just safer that way. It is a Norwegian non-alcoholic beer. Interesting, Karma Lightwing. I could give away basically where I live by saying that I like this brewery. So that is a local brewery by me that makes some very good beer. I was quite surprised. A lot of local breweries and places aren't always that great, but some of them are. But my favorite beer is actually from Munich, and I would laugh if Sushi could guess it. I could give you the hint that I drink wheat beers. Alright, so... see, this will be funny. Okay, yes, wheat beers are delicious. Okay, so here's what I want to do. We just added in the mud game. We merged in the master branch, so that's going to make it a lot easier to work with this. Now, I want to do one other merge, which I don't think... Did I leave? Okay, good. I did keep this here. So I want to git branch, git checkout, Henrik. And I want to say... Do I not have the mud here? Git branch -r. So that should show me the remote branches. Git checkout benric / mud / I think I called it mud. Yeah, more - clean up. Nope. Alright, we're switching to it this way. Lazy, lazy. Gonna go ahead and switch branches that way. Oh, actually I just realized I should push up the mud one probably because I merged that in. Which this is gonna mess with people. So I apologize for anybody that's running off of that one. But we are gonna push that one up because we did need to merge in the master branch to it. But now what I want to do is switch over to my branch, which is this one, and I also want to merge that one in here. So git merge mud. So what do we have? So we're going to push that up as well. Now we should be on my branch that I was working on related to the mud. So for anyone that doesn't know what a mud is, this is a type of game. And so this is actually a very cool one. This is an ambitious project that I really like. Wow, this is... I realized how bad it would be to search for mud game wiki, because I figured that might get me some results I didn't actually want to find. So multi-user dungeon, multi-user dimension, multi-user domain, something like that. That's what these games are called, and this is actually what we are. This is what we are talking about doing in our project. So this is what a mud looks like. It is text-based, and what you've probably heard of before is like Zork and other games like that, where you get all of your information is in text. So here's an example of like something that you might get in one of this type of game. So, you know, welcome, would you like instructions? So the user here typed in the word yes right there as their response, and then said, oops, I guess I can't zoom in any more than that, huh? Oh, I can if I click on it. There we go. So they said, would you like instruction? He types yes, it gave some instructions. And then it says, you're standing at the end of the road before a small brick building. Around you is a forest. A small stream flows out of the building. And so he says, go in. And so the game then, you know, interprets go in, so it thinks he wants to go in the building. So he's inside the building, a well house for a large spring. There are some keys on the ground here. There's a shiny brass lamp nearby. There is food here. There is a bottle of water here. And so at this point, then, the player could do things like pick up the key, look at the key, pick up the food, pick up the bottle, and other things like that. And you sort of build this like system for like managing all these tasks that the user could do as they interact with this. So that's sort of how these types of games work. So what's neat about them is that they used to be playable in such a way that you would have multiple players working on them at the same time. Now, I'm not thinking about us doing that just yet, although that could be an interesting thing. I'm thinking it would be fun if the bot would actually play one of these games with you. And here's how I think that would work. Let me go ahead and load up our site so you guys can take a look. So this is the DevChatter site where you guys are all watching the stream right now, and you can watch me put the stream on the stream right there, which is a little weird, and on down forever, because it's really weird to show the stream on the stream. Definitely no problems there. So, once the stream is on here, I can point out this. Over here, we have some rooms, so I could actually switch over to the mud, and I could set chat permission to be everyone. So now we have a mud room, and so this is where the bot could play the mud game. And so now this room exists, and you'll notice that you didn't get that chat message in your regular chat, and the reason is that that's a separate room. So if I just head back to the stream chat, that's the main room, and you'll see that it's out here, and this is over here. So there are separate rooms that are now built into Twitch, and we want to figure out how to get the mud hidden away in there so that it doesn't clutter the main chat. So someone could hop over there and play that as they want. So that's something that we think would be neat and could get added to other streams as well, not just ours, obviously. So congratulations on being done with your exams, Karma Lightwing. Yes, we infinite loop on and on. That is, I would actually call that recursion, actually, not a while true. That's like more of a recursion. So, because each one was calling the next one on and on down. So, a recursive algorithm where they didn't actually handle the end case to break out of the recursion. That's a really bad idea. Don't do that. Okay, so here is what was set up for this mud game. I want to talk about it a little bit. We're going to go over it. So we have a couple of enums for move directions. So players can move north, south, east, and west. So cardinal directions make it a little bit easier for us to understand what they're doing. That was weird. Nomed. Welcome. I mean, I am a white dude, so I do probably at least have that in common with Mark Zuckerberg. I, however, am not anywhere near as rich as he is. If you happen to be as rich as he is and want to give me all of your money so that I can be as rich as he is, that would be fine by me. And then Carmen Lightwing, not just yet, tomorrow, working on getting it wrapped up still. Well, good luck on your exams. And someone tried to post a link, and I didn't see what the link was. I'm not brave enough to click on that link, though. So I'm not going to click on that link. Because I don't know what that's a link to. Anyway, so the actions that we have are look, take, drop, attack, and hide. So you'll remember, oh. I assume that is a question then, Gaza Reap. Snoopy links are spoopy. Spoopy links are spoopy, yes, exactly. So, look, take, drop, attack, and hide are the actions that he set up initially. I think that's a good set. So essentially we can look at objects, we can take objects, things like that. Alright, state machine. So setting up a state machine is this plan for how we would do this. So set of states, and I think state's an abstract class. So enter, exit, run. So I think run in this case means actually to do it. Yes, you need permission to post links. That's why the bot blocks them. Yes, Nightbot blocks all links except to whitelisted sources. If you post a link to like a Microsoft Docs page, for example, it does not block those. 1 second, everybody. Yeah, Dave, you can whitelist, so, yeah, I gotta enjoy my Pepsi, everybody, come on. Pepsi, it's the choice of a new generation. Not sponsored. Alright, I was just kidding, everybody. I like that one, because the Pepsi, for anyone that doesn't know, there was a Pepsi Man video game. Yes, not sponsored yet. There was a Pepsi Man video game back in the day, and it's actually like a licensed Pepsi game. It's ridiculous. It's just absurd. My speakers exploded listening to that. Oh, ShiftKit, you opened it up, huh? You're brave. Okay, so run in this case I think means actually do it or execute. I think. Let's take a look. So play game state, run. Oh, that's how he's doing it. What state are we in? So while we're in the options state, okay, I got it. I see what he's doing here. This is making sense. So while we're in the room state, so a room state must be what the levels are, right? Yes, okay, I see it. I opened it in a VM. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Alright, see you, Dave. Okay, so we got level 1 is just an example room state, and it has available actions are so enter prints out available actions are these, and then exit does that. Okay, so here's the weird part with this code right now that I want to point out to everybody. It's doing console read lines and console write lines everywhere. We don't want to do that long term. What we want to do is we want to get it so that it is doing this using Twitch chat client. So, in order to do that, well, welcome, thanks for following, but that is, I really hope that's not how you watch my stream. That's creepy and weird. So, but welcome either way. Thanks for following. And if it is true, then just don't tell me about it, and we're good. I bet it is. Okay, so this is more fun than Fortnite. Okay, so here is what we're doing. Oh man, that is awesome. Nice shift kit in the bush right there. Okay, so let's take a look at our dependencies right now. We're going to see what we've got, so we can add the core project. That should get us access to some of these things. And I don't think that we need the Twitch project, because I believe what we can do is have our main project trigger this and pass in the correct Twitch dependency that we need. So, what I want to do is this. I want to add in a dependency that all of these are going to get that is the chat client. So right now they have console as their chat client, but that's not okay. They need a better chat client. So what we're going to do is this. First off, I want to make sure, okay, console write line is not in those at all. Play state, game start state, and then room state. So room state is going to be doing enough stuff. I think all the states are going to have. I think all of them are going to need this. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to make a protected iChat client. We're going to call this underscore chat client. And what we're going to do is we are going to initialize this from our constructor. So we now have to initialize this, which means that every inheritor of this now needs to pass this into a base constructor. So we're going to have a couple of compiler errors. We're going to go to those, and we're going to pass in our dependencies. So we're going to move this dependency up the chain until we get to the top. Now, the reason it's yelling at us right now is because it can't copy those files because the bot is running and it has them occupied. So that's why it can't do that yet. So we're going to say chat client. Now, in order to have this, we need this to be in the constructor as well. So now we've got that there, and now we want to also have chat client here, and we want to put that in our parent constructor there as well. So should have that. So now we should have those. Let's go to the reference of this, and you'll notice it tossed in the word to do here, but that's fine. We now are at the options menu. This one is also going to need it. Chat client. Chat clients. Now we need this one to go in here. So basically all the state objects need to have access to a chat client, which means they all need to have one in their constructor. They cannot write to the console if they don't have one. This wrote to console, so it needs a chat client. Basically anything that wrote to console in any way, like this one, needs the chat client. So we're going to say chat client. We're going to put it there. We're going to create that parameter as well, so it updates there. Now again, we need to go to the reference to this, and this one also can access the parent's chat client. It's passing in from here, and there is no reference to that yet. Let's go ahead and build again. But this time, in order to actually let it finish building and confirm that everything's good, we're going to have the bot leave, just so I can get a real build for a second here. We're going to finish up these last few parameters and then restart the bot. So chat client again, and we're going to add that to the constructor there. And then go back into our error list, get the last couple. Very few issues left to fix here before we are done with this bit of refactoring. I know we're not using it yet, but we will get there. To do, underscore chat client. And last one's right here. This needs to get added to that constructor list right there. Okay, fantastic. Problems underscore. Hey DevChatter, how important is mathematical skills for programming? It depends on what type of programming you go into. Problems. If you go into, if you want to do stuff with computer graphics, for example, and that sort of thing, you wanna do that, then yes, mathematics will be important. But the mathematical skills required for most programming are fairly minimal. They can come in handy. There are points where they can be useful. If you want to do anything with encryption, with cryptography, anything like that, it will be useful there. If you want to do high performance coding, it can sometimes be useful there as well. But for the majority of programming jobs, the mathematics required is fairly simple. What's more important is logic rather than mathematics. Now those go hand in hand, so that's part of why you get some of that. Let's pass that up there. So this gets created here. Underscore chat client. Oh, they did one per line, so we will follow that convention. Okay. Now in this one, we also want to have chat client. We're going to jump to where this one is as well. And we're going to say underscore chat client. Passing those in. I would say abstraction skills. Sapphire Freak, yes, that is a very good point. Understanding of abstractions is another very useful one. Yeah, so abstractions, logic, that sort of thing, that's the big important part in programming, less so the mathematics themselves. So all of these concepts are related to math, but don't require those high-level math skills. So oh, sorry, I didn't hit my Pepsi Man button. That was my bad. Okay. So this now builds. Now I don't know how well it works yet. State machine, add state, remove state, update. States, menu instance. Okay, so now we need to get rid of all of our console write line commands from here. That's our next goal. And our read lines too, but I'm going to start with the write lines. Karma Lightwing. Oh, yeah, because I didn't click Pepsi Man. Visual learners. So when I see code, I don't usually understand the concept without a visual representation. Oh, yeah, so problems. Yeah, the stuff we're working on right now is a little weird. Adding chat client to state machine. So we're going to put that in there. That is part of the weird part. So we just told this to use a chat client instead of using console write lines. So, what we want to do to make this work all of a sudden is this. If we gave this a console chat client, it would still be able to write to console. But I think that is probably a good change there for now. Exit. You talking about these ones? Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a weird one. I'm not sure why he's gotten his level 1 and level 2 like that. So, either way, the intention is this, to give a little bit of understanding about how this would work. The plan is to make it so that these files are the basic structure of our game. So right now, it has hard-coded in level 1 and level 2, and these have, you know, some basic things about them, directions you can go, and what happens when you change these directions and how things change. But what we want to do is this. We want to make it so that this game, when you load the game, when you run it, it procedurally generates the level that you're going to go in. So it's going to build this map for a structure using randomness and a set of rules. So the idea being that, like, certain things will allow certain types of actions, and it's going to have certain types of stuff in there. We'll take that, we'll put it in a database, create a table and a structure, and we'll have everybody, you know, trying to beat that level. Once that one's done, then we could procedurally generate a new one. And so that's kind of the concept here, is that, you know, we're going to make like an ongoing game that people could continue to play. And we think that would be a cool thing to have inside of people's Twitch chats. So I thought it was kind of neat. I was like, hey, yeah, that'd be a cool idea. We could then have people, you know, create a room in their Twitch chat, as we showed before, and make it so people could play this game while watching a Twitch stream. So I think it would be fun. So that's the idea. We want to build that, make it a little bit better. So that's that project. I mostly wanted to review and show you all the changes in there because we did bring that in as a separate feature branch without really going over the code on stream. So I wanted to make sure we talked about that a little bit and actually showed you all what that is and what is going on with it. Other than that, let's see. I think I want to go ahead and do our wrap-up for the day because I was planning on keeping this one a little short, so I think we're at about 90 minutes. Let me go ahead and check that. Oh, bot's not running. Derp, 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 derp. There we go. Hello, bot. Welcome. How long have we been going here, bot? Pray tell. Yep, about 90 minutes. So I wanted to take a moment and tell everybody a couple of things. So I've got some information that I want to get to all of you. For anyone who doesn't know, all the stuff that we build on stream is out on GitHub, and you can take a look at it. To answer your question, problems about this long. See this graph here? That is commits made to our bot. It is an interesting one. And so anyway, so what I was saying is you can find all of our code that we do on stream out on GitHub at github.com/devchatter. And I want to talk about some of the things that we have planned and coming up. Not there, here. So not tomorrow, but Thursday this week, at 12 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And for anyone who wants to translate into your own time, you can use our schedule command in the bot. So for mine, I do schedule -4, and that gets me my time zone. On Thursday, we're going to have Jimmy Bird on the stream, and he is going to be pair programming with us, so we are going to write something fun together. Then on Saturday, as I mentioned, we're going to be taking a look at YM, and that is this. So YM is a project that is written in C#, and has a cool name, and will help us to build websites. So I'm going to show you all this, and we're going to take a look at how it works. It is a cool project, and we're going to have the creator of the project on here to talk with us about it. So as I mentioned, it's open source and out on GitHub, so you can take a look at it. Essentially, the idea with it is that you build content in Markdown or something similar, and it creates websites with this. So it makes it so that you can generate a static website from some code and just, use your theme or whatever and push that out. So it makes it so you have a very lightweight, very nice website. So we're actually gonna look at doing that, and we're gonna do that this Saturday. So hopefully you can all make it on Saturday, because that will be a very fun one. I like our streams when we've got guests. And then next week and the week after, I'm trying to nail down dates for 2 more guests, because my goal is to have 2 guests on the stream a week. If I could get that going forward, that will be the plan. So I'm going to get 1 other guest next week if I can, and 1 the week after next. But so far what we've got is we have Maxime is going to be joining us next Tuesday, so 1 week from today. So make sure you mark your calendars. 1 week from today we'll have Maxime on here. He's currently traveling. He is an cloud developer advocate with Microsoft, and we're going to have him on to talk with us about Azure. And then we're going to have Jay Tower pair programming with us next Monday. So for anyone that doesn't know, the people that usually come on our stream and pair with us tend to be Microsoft MVPs, insiders, or Microsoft employees of some kind. That's usually the people we try to bring on, because we tend to use .NET and C#. That's mostly because that is mostly because I like those languages, like that technology, and want to work with it. And so that's what we do, but we are not exclusive to those, and we will do other stuff. We will touch other languages, so fully expect that. Problems. Any tips on getting involved without much experience? So, problems. If you want to get involved in some of our projects here, my recommendation to you would be to do something that is... so you obviously want something that you could tackle without being like, some spectacularly awesome developer, with like 20 years of experience and, building all your own frameworks. My best answer to you on that one would be to hop over to our issues section, go over here to the labels, and click on Good First Issue. Now, Good First Issue here, I want to clarify, does not mean that it is a simple thing to complete. Sometimes what that means is it doesn't require a lot of knowledge about our project. So, one thing would be, you could do the fix naming of ID. That would be... actually, this has already been dibsed. I don't know if that's... I would say yes, you can dibs stuff, but after a little while, if it hasn't been gotten to, I'd say people could try to jump in and snipe those ones. Other things to look at would be... this is not a coding-related one, but it is related to the project, and that is that we're using AppVeyor to set up our status badges. I think you all can do this. I don't think you need me, but I could be wrong, because I think what you need to do... I think this has the instructions for how to add this, so this would be a pretty easy thing. You could read through that and see what would need to get added in order to have a status badge show up on our README page. And so there's other things like that. Alternately, you could really make almost any pull request you wanted to improve things. If you set up your own bot, for example, you could set one up, have it talk in your own Twitch channel, which, by the way, if anybody doesn't know, just by creating a Twitch account, you actually have a Twitch channel of your very own. And if you set up your own bot, get it running, you might want to clarify our README file, for example. That's another way to get involved. So if something wasn't totally clear about how to get things set up, you could revise our instructions for setting up the bot locally and tell us what we're missing. So there's a lot of ways that you could get involved, and you don't need to be a very experienced programmer or very experienced with our project in order to do them. Yeah, so those are my main suggestions. Something else I do want to mention to everyone is if you are interested in continuing to talk with us, and if you do want to get involved with the project and contribute, I highly recommend that you join our Discord. Our Discord actually does have people chatting it. I was chatting with people this morning in there, so if you want to work with us, things like that, hop in the Discord and you can chat with us over there, whether we're streaming or not. So for those of you that don't know, Discord is a chat application. It's one of the ones commonly used by gamers today, and often by Twitch and Twitch streamers. To Yui, hi, welcome. I took a guess on your name, and if I pronounced that wrong, let me know, and I will say it better next time. Problems, do I have any tutorials for setting up a bot with Twitch and making it take commands? Problems. I guess. You could watch our early streams. We built the chatbot in here, so you can look for some early parts of our stream in Twitch in the videos section, but some of those might not be there. So Twitch only keeps videos around for a certain amount of time. So what I actually do is I put our videos also over on YouTube. So if you check out our YouTube channel, which I just linked in the chat there, that is the other place to find our videos. So that is a good spot to look. So we actually do show how to set up a Twitch bot and configure it to take commands and things like that. So we're building our own from scratch. Alternately, if you wanted problems, you could just grab an instance of our bot and work on it as well. So up to you on that one. And other than that, I want to go through and I think I thanked everyone that followed when they followed. If you are in here and you haven't clicked the follow button yet, you should click the follow button so you get notified when we go live next, which, for the record, is in 2 days on Thursday. And then I think that's about it. I want to thank CSharp Fritz for hosting us today, and we may have gotten some other hosts, but I don't think I get the message about it unless you host us for a certain amount. And that's because we don't want to just get spammed with like the one viewer hosts that a lot of channels get. Bennett-chan, welcome. Thank you for following. And to anyone else that is out there, thank you as well for joining us, for viewing, for chatting if you did. If you didn't, that's fine too. Any interaction is all up to you, and I'm looking forward to writing some more code, and one of these days I am going to make sure that we get back to doing some programming exercises on stream, so I hope you're all looking forward to that. And thank you all for being here today, and have a great rest of your Tuesday. Bye, everyone.